right, everybody. Welcome back, D Game. We're here again. You got to put up with me for a little bit. I'll try to keep it fairly short, some of the long ones, especially when I'm solo here. Uh, but we have a few recent things I'm going to kind of cover or whatever, shout out or two, and then we'll get into the main part of the program. So recently, girlfriend slash wife or wife, I think, yeah, wife of a friend of mine or whatever. She made in passing that she thought I was at one time was anti-relationship, and not in a negative way. Just she just had mentioned, and no, I'm not anti-relationship. I'm anti-toxic relationship. I mean, definitely want to let everybody know and let you guys understand that what to look out for, things to see, because a lot of things go on in a relationship that go unnoticed. I mean, it's not like us guys to not pay attention to stuff, right? So just that's the main part of this is to let you guys all know what to expect, what to think about, and why things are happening. And when something does come up, how to react to it somewhat. At least to be aware of it, and either bounce if you need to, or maybe it's just you need to put them in check or have a conversation with them about it. Make sure certain things don't continue. But no, I'm definitely not anti-relationship. I think like I've said many times on here that a good submissive woman is the most amazing thing on this planet. I really do. It's just these days, most women want to be that, independent or boss bitch or whatever kind of deal. And it's unattractive. That, like I say, you go with even social media or social on dating sites, things, and go through the profiles or whatever. And first thing they say is, I'm an independent woman. Swipe, done. Because be independent then, you don't need me, obviously. Or, or one of the first things they do is point out that I don't need a man, or, well, goodbye, go with someone else that you're going to harass the rest of your life with, because it isn't going to be me. And there's a difference. There's a lot of guys out there that I guess enjoy being, I guess, taken advantage of or used, or just for the fact of being in a relationship. And I don't feel that's the correct way to be. I don't like seeing guys like that, but hey, whatever. I mean, everybody do you, right? Other things are like, what I say on here is I'm telling you all the facts, the way things actually are, the truth that nobody will really say, that we all know deep down or is really the truth. If I'm not saying that you have to follow every one of these, or you have to have every one of these things in your life. I mean, you apply what works in your relationship or what your moral code goes to, but at least the rest of it, you're just well aware of it, and make your own decisions. I'm not saying that, to live a certain way or not live a certain way. That's entirely up to you. But to live a certain way without the information, that's different. You live a certain way with the information, that's your own choice. So you're informed. Just trying to, clear up some misconceptions and then things like that. It's no big deal, but I just wanted to make sure that a few of these things were touched. Yeah, then there was another one is, at one point, she made the transition now, where, everything is good and we actually get along and talk. But at one point she thought I hated women or didn't like them or, all this. And I'm like, what gave you, what gave you that? Just because I've noticed that a lot with women. If you say anything negative about them or put them, I guess, in a negative light, their behavior, their mannerisms, things like that, not things that they, do on purpose, but just the way they are that they think is natural. And it puts them in a negative light when you point it out. They think that that's an attack on them. No, it's an attack on the behavior and, but not the person. So it's nothing against women themselves. It's just, this is the way women believe they are. Women are these days, and they believe they should be, and they believe is okay. And as we know, dude, I mean, most of these aren't okay. We tolerate a lot of stuff we shouldn't. Just like I say, I'm not, I'm anti a toxic relationship, but hey, I don't mind freaky little toxic girl now and again. If you guys all know where I'm going, but yeah, I'm definitely not gonna. They're definitely not the wifey material. They're not in the wifey catalog. But another thing, gonna shout out to Sergeant John Beekman. He's overseas. Guys, don't forget. Not saying he's having the hardest time or anything like that, but he's over there and he's fighting the good fight. And, especially with all the troops that are overseas and doing what they have to do, is mass respect for you guys and appreciate everything and all you, I'm just giving you recognizing a little bit for you, get a little bit of credit. I mean, for me, I guess it ain't that much, but I'm going to do what I do and put out the respect that you guys deserve. And y'all come home safe. No more crap like last few weeks, man. We can't be having any of that. So you guys stay safe, John. We're all here for you. So we're still thinking of you. So then, and hey, speaking of that, like and subscribe. All right. It doesn't cost anything. So just, hit the old like button, throw a subscribe, bunch of you out there, ninja watching, so I got like 400% more that watch that aren't subscribed, than are. So, just hit that subscribe button. It's free. Don't cost you anything. Takes about 2 seconds. Then, the main focus is a couple other things that kind of came up this week. Is, as we know, guys, women don't know what we want. When they really comes down to it, really breaks down to the fact, do we know what women want? In a general sense, and yes, we have to, otherwise we can't attract women. So, but if you take food and sex out of it, I mean, which, is a given, right? They basically have zero clue what we want. Zero clue. And it's kind of their job to know, because they're women looking for men. Just like it's our job because we're men looking for women. If we don't know what they want, are we ever going to be able to attract them or maintain a long relationship, a positive relationship? No, because we have zero clue what they want, right? So that's part of this too, is try to let you know what women actually want. Because, I mean, some of us, hey, it's 2024 now, and it's kind of a fact of life that a lot of single households people are growing up in. So maybe, you didn't have a father, or even if, it's hard times, right now. Economy's crap a lot of places, and they might be working, a ton, trying to get, don't have time to really give you that fatherly advice and show you the way things are, or might be a toxic relationship between the parents. So instead of you seeing, what's out there, or was seeing what's going on between the parents, and it's a toxic environment, toxic thing, at least you get some good advice, because you can't treat women as, there's a certain way you can and a certain way you can't. I mean, I always say that, it's fine to be an asshole. Women hate that, but guys kind of understand it. You got to kind of be an ass a little bit here, a little bit there. It doesn't mean to treat them badly, and but you can't be you can't be a total dick about things, right? So guys understand that there's a fine line there. If you cross that line, then yeah, things are going to go south really, really quick. Because, for one, women don't have to put up with that crap, but they do like to put up with some. They actually like a little resistance, I guess, that you ain't a puppy dog. So it's, they also give pushback, and, it's a dancing game back and forth, but, we'll get into, in another episode about pushback and how you deal with it, and when it's too much, and when it's not worth dealing with anymore. It's just too much. You have to just cut your losses and move on. So that's a big point to, kind of encompass what we're doing here, what I'm doing here, and what this is all about, and why, for you guys can get, just don't think I'm sitting here bashing on people, because I mean, honestly, I'm not. I'm just stating the facts, the way it is, and yeah, it just seems like if we put our preferences out there, it's this horrible thing, it's not tolerated, but it's our preference, and it's just the way it's going to be, regardless. I mean, men in general, all the same, same with women in general, they're all the same. I mean, obviously there's a few outliers, but why include them? I wouldn't be trying to get you to get this one specific type of woman and trying to help you out dating there if there's only like 1% of the population. What good is that? It doesn't do any good. Now, I mean, if you guys want to talk about that stuff, there's certain groups and things of women that if you want, there is a different way of going about them, and they are outliers, and you can still attract them, and there's a different way of attracting them, and a different way of maintaining a relationship with them. If you guys ever want to find out a few things about what they are, just let me know, whether it's a comment or an email, or, a lot of you out there, if you got my number, give me a call, give me a message or whatever, and we can set something up and we can talk about that kind of stuff. Then the difference between wifey material and sex only, right? Obviously, everybody knows, and women that watch, and yes, there are women that watch, it breaks it down in a bunch of the analytics. So there are a bunch of women that watch. If you break it down, everybody knows that women have, guys they're actually interested in, might, for boyfriend, husband, and then they have the friend zone. All the guys that are almost good enough, but they have something wrong with them that they just don't quite cut it. So they keep them in the friend zone, and they feed off of them, for attention. They feed off of them for, a lot of them nowadays for food. You might be the food guy, which I've actually had a gal that I know that she actually had a guy in her phone as food, so you understand that women have this too, and on the male side, let's finish with the women, because the women's side is obviously they have the two categories. The guys aren't really ever going to get out of the friend zone, but all the guys in the friend zone are trying to be in the friend zone, hoping to get out of it one day, maybe have a chance with her. So, but they're stuck there, and they'll be there until the end. And women actually like to keep men there. They don't want to lose them. It's not a relationship, but it's a weird form of a relationship where they're needed too. They just get zero benefit from the woman, that's why I'm telling you guys, don't ever be friends with women. It does you zero good. You can associate with women. You can have women that you talk to. You can have women that, come see you, whatever, and do that stuff. But don't be the best friend where, she's calling and asking advice and telling you your problems, and you're telling her your problems, and yada, yada, yada. And then, that goes on for like 6 months, and you've never got anything from her. And maybe she's actually even dating somebody, but dude, you're never going to get out of that. So it's zero. It does you no good. They keep saying that, oh, well, women can bring you advice and all that stuff. They give you horrible advice because they want to keep you there. They don't want you to find someone, because you find someone, you're going to be paying attention to them, and they don't want to give up that attention. So they're going to keep you there. It's a weird ass game they play. Now, for men, we have a slim, very small, area of women that would be wife or girlfriend material. Then we have sex only. That's a bigger area. Now, they can transfer from one to the other. The problem is women, when you get put in a friend zone, they're telling you you're just a friend, and that's where you're at, right? When men put you in the sex zone, you're not going to find out for a while. We're not going to tell you, but that's where you're at. And hey, we don't talk a whole lot. I mean, there might be a few other reasons for that, but yeah, we're not going to tell you. But you can, as women, extremely rarely can men move from friend zone to dating, and generally, if that happens, it's short lived. Because you didn't measure up to start with. Unless something major happened in your life where something big happened for you, and it perks their interest of being something that they desire, like a huge career move or a huge raise, or something along that lines. That usually piques their interest, and it might get you out of the friend zone, but if you get out of the friend zone for that reason, the only reason that you're not in the friend zone, and the only reason you're with her, and the game, what's going on. So you need to pay attention to that. Us as men, now I'm saying there's a bunch of broke dudes that, and it's not to shit on any guys. I mean, hey, dude, you broke. It's just the way it is. I mean, you got to get going. You might be young, or might have something happen to you, but you need to rebuild or whatever the deal is. But a lot of them, especially younger, this generation, they just want to be with someone. They don't care who. as long as they're cute enough that it's not embarrassing to have them around. So they're just dying to be with it, and they'll do anything. They'll be miserably accommodating, which is great for the woman to start with. She might really enjoy that for a short period of time, but she's going to shortly not respect you, and things are going to get worse and worse and worse, and slowly she's going to control you, and she's going to do things that are not acceptable in a relationship, and yeah, it's not going to work, dude. It's just not going to work. It's going to be bad. You're going to be X pretty quick. So, but yeah, we as men, guys that actually have their shit together, stable, maybe financially secure, things like that, have stuff going for them in life. We know what we're looking for, and it's not a very broad, but it's not a very wide area of what we're looking. We're looking for a pretty specific woman. Looks wise can be wide. You know what I mean? It can vary, but the type of woman is very, pretty narrow. There's not going to be a lot of variance, and when we find that, them are wifey material. That's how. I mean, obviously, when we start out with dating a woman, we start out with the intention of, well, not all the time. I'm at least 50% of the time. We start out with the intention of possibly wifey material, long-term girlfriend, whatever. At least for me. And then her behavior or her attitude is going to determine where it goes from there. It's either going to go up or it's going to go down. Generally, it's not going to stay the same, because if it stays the same, it's boring, it's mundane, and it isn't worth continuing anyway. So it's now, if their attitude sucks, they can't cook. I mean, just simple things. They are not volunteering to try to help and do a few things. I'm not saying like the first week, maybe not even the first month, but once you guys get together, or once I get together with someone, I kind of expect a thing. I'm not going to ask, I'm not going to demand, but I'm watching, paying attention. If you're not going to do it, then that shows me that you're not trying to show me or sell me on the fact that you're wifey material, right? So I, that's just my deal. Is I sit and I watch, I pay attention to most everything, but I don't say much anything. And a lot of women in the past are like, well, why didn't you say something? Well, I shouldn't have to. That's the whole point. If I have to tell you every step of what you do, it's miserable, for me. Now, if she wants to ask, that's a different story. I can explain and give her insight. But, if you have to explain everything to a woman, not only is it just like pulling teeth half the time, it's, women always say, oh, men are controlling. Well, they're going to say that's controlling behavior because you're telling them or asking them or making them or whatever the deal is, do this stuff. They either want to or they don't. So if they don't want to do it, obviously they're not wifey material. They're not long-term material. If they do, it's great. That's, you can check that box off, and, all of a sudden you're kind of getting excited, and they stay in that category. Now, the ones that have attitude or maybe their real personality comes out after a few months, uh, they might be transferred into the sex only zone, where as a man that you're never going to marry these women. You enjoy their time. You think they're good people, but you're not going to deal with that type of personality for the rest of your life. You're just not going to do it. But you'll never tell her that you switched her over. Or at least I never do, because I mean, what's the point? Unless it's really bad, then I don't just switch them over. I just cut them off. I'm like, I'm done, but I'm not gonna. I mean, most of them are pretty fun and talented in other endeavors, so they just get moved over to the other category, and then they can hang out there for a while. Now they can, if they do realize it, something, they screwed up, or maybe something in their life finally settled down and they calm down and they get back on track. Or if they really desire and they really start questioning and ask, and they really show, they can be moved back over. But that's just kind of how it rolls when it comes to women with friends and guys with wifey, and then just sex only. I mean, obviously both genders have ones that we're just not gonna touch. It's just not gonna happen. So that being said, there's a lot of women that, all right, here guys, how can I got to try to explain this and try to follow me on it here. There's a lot of guys that have women good friends or best friends, right? And you talk to them a lot. They talk to you a lot, or, maybe not all the time, because guys don't talk all the time, but at least you guys communicate more than you, as much as you do with your friends, guy friends. And so when you do that, women friends really do nothing for you as a man, because the only thing a woman friend can do, I guess, would be if she is setting you up with other women, her friends or people that she knows and things, but quality women, not the, you know what I mean? There's always the three hot chicks walking around, and then they have that one that's undesirable, and all the hot ones are just trying to get that one hooked up. If they're trying to hook you up with that one, dude, she's not your friend. She's not helping you out. But if they're actually desirable women, then maybe she could be beneficial to your life in some way. I'm not saying no men can be friends with women. I mean, there is a portion that can, but women don't bring any benefit to a guy's life as a friend. They don't understand men. They don't care to understand men. They don't even know what we want when they're dating us. So, I mean, they don't care. You got to so as much as you tell them, they're just not going to understand, because they don't care. They could give a shit less. They're living their life, and they think that men and women are the same, and we're not. We're not the same at all. So having a woman friend is not going to benefit you. If you need advice, don't talk to her. I'm telling you, don't do it. It's not gonna, even if it's women advice, because you think, oh, women know women. No, there's always a hidden agenda there, and don't do that. Uh, Talk to your guy friends, talk to your group, whatever. They'll help you out. They'll give you, the real advice, and they understand what you're going through because they've went through it themselves. They understand women and what's going on because they've all dealt with it. Now, that's the only way that you could have in my opinion, it's the only way you could have a woman friend. Other than that, they're always going to want something from you. And if they don't want anything materialistic or help, they're looking for attention. And they like that attention. There's a ton. To us, women attention is great. But it's not like big on the list unless it's from one woman that we really desire. They will have 4 or 5 guys that give them attention and validation for everything, so it makes them very happy and they can function a lot better. It's something they truly need. It's weird. All women are going to say, "Oh no, I don't do that." Bullshit. I've been on this earth for a day or two. I understand. I've seen this shit. They'll all try to lie to you. Don't let them lie to you. It's bullshit. It's the truth that they love male attention, whether it's, it's proof just to say, how many women will just get together with a guy in a huge toxic relationship and fight and just scream and yell and constantly they just love the attention. They don't care if it's toxic. They don't care if it's negative. They don't care whatever. It's male attention. Okay. There's proof in itself. They love male attention in any form. And if they can get a benefit from it, where maybe you'll bring them stuff. How many times have you seen on social media where women will say, "Oh, I need a coffee," and I guarantee that there's a guy that'll say, "Oh, I can bring you one," or "I need something. Anybody bring me food?" Poof! I guarantee there's a dude out there willing to stop what he's doing, go pay for the food, go pick it up, and drive over and drop it off to him, in the hopes that maybe someday that she'll see that he did something cool or whatever. But she has zero flipping interest in you and never will. She just wanted it, and you validated her for doing it. Dude, don't do it. I guarantee that women will be because they don't want to lose the idea or the privilege of being able to do this stuff with two men, right? So when there's no benefit to being friends with a woman. Now, if you are, you really need to think, and maybe you never have, because women are master manipulators. Not saying they're trying to be malicious about it. Just saying they are master manipulators. They manipulate everything, including their hair, their makeup, their clothes, the way they walk, the way they talk, everything. It changes depending on what environment they're in, because they're manipulating themselves to manipulate what people perceive. All right. They're master manipulators. That's what their whole life is based on. So just understanding that. I'm not saying that's malicious and they're doing this shit it's not like that. I'm just saying in a general sense, that's what it is, right? Let's look at it logically and call it out for what it is. When a woman is getting the attention from a man and you're a single dude and you're giving her, whether she's single or not, right? You're in the friend zone. She's never going to give you a real shot. But she's always going to be your best friend, right? They love to do that. And the problem is you're not her only best friend. That's a dude. There's 5 others, so you can't fulfill all that she needs. So she's got others doing the same thing. Um, the advice, if you talk to her, and maybe you have over the years, and things just never really worked out, and everything was just kind of off, or women just never really this, or you tried stuff and that they had mentioned, and you just never quite. It was always close, but it just never quite worked out, or maybe you just never got women's attention and things. It's on purpose. They don't want you to go. They want you to stay as their best friend because they're getting something from it. They don't want you in a relationship. They don't want you sexually, but they love the idea that you're this great, wonderful, nice guy that'll do anything from them and is always there when they need them. If my car broke down, boom, you're there. The food, the drinks, stuff like that. They're going out. Oh yeah, I'll come with, and of course you're gonna buy. It's all that stuff that they love to keep you there, and they'll sabotage relationships, potential relationships, from the advice they give, knowing that they don't want you to leave. They want you to stay as in the friend zone as their friend, not as another woman's friend, as their friend. And they will, if you're doing things that are like horrible and toxic and you just, dude, things that just ain't going to work out, they'll build that up. They'll tell you, yeah, you should, yeah, this and that. And because they know that that's going to sabotage future relationships, or you're not going to really attract women. So you stay where you're at because they know you want a woman and you want women attention, and she's the only one that's going to give it to you. Right? So you're there. Just trying to get it through to you guys that there's nothing wrong with knowing women. There's nothing wrong with chatting with women. There's nothing wrong with associating with women. But when if a woman is texting you every day and she don't want to hook up with you, she don't want you to be in a relationship with you, then she's trying to keep you in the friend zone. She wants you there. Don't do it. You need to move on, and let some other, sorry to say it, some other sucker fill that void. And you need to get away from that. And like I say, if you start talking to the guy friends and get away from her, you will start noticing that you'll do better with women. A lot of the things that she had told you isn't 100% true. It's about 80% true with a little bit of craziness, and then you can just get rid of that craziness part and follow through. Not saying all women are horrible. I mean, I'm tired of hearing emails about thinking that women are horrible. They're not. I don't think they do all this stuff 100% consciously, on purpose, all this god awful crap. But it is just the way society is today. So, but we're running, I think we're plenty long here. Don't want to eat up your entire day. So, guys, think about what I said. Definitely think about our troops. That's a big thing. Very, very pro-military here, pro-troop. They give a lot. They give, you really sit and think about it. They give you everything, or willing to give you everything for you can function in your life. So every vet, everybody that has served, everybody that's serving, huge shout out and huge thank you to all of you. Mass respect. You guys are great. But I'm gonna get out of here. Maybe actually sometime, just thinking we might throw a vet show together. Have 2-3 vets down and talk about crazy crap. Whatever. We definitely have some interesting conversations now and again. But All right. You guys stay safe. Do your thing. Get away from them women. Try to break it off slowly but surely. And I will chat at you next time. Later.